Okay, disclaimer. To the very best of my knowledge, this story is true. I don't expect to convince you. Truth be told, I've had a hard time coming to terms with it myself. Cliché as it may be, I really am a rational person. And if not for this, I would probably be the most stone-faced atheist you'd ever meet. But after much internal struggle and debate, I have come to the conclusion that there are things in life that simply cannot be explained with reason, at least in the form in which we know it. Logic, for all the trust we place in it, is nothing really more than a candle, all too easily snuffed out. And when it is gone, we are left alone in the dark. And everything we would scoff at by daylight suddenly becomes very believable. Alright, before I wax too melodramatic, here's my story. I was very young, only 4 or 5 at the most, before either of my siblings were born. It was just Mommy and Daddy and me, living in our own little house in Great Bend, Kansas. Very quaint. We were a young family without much money, and most of the furniture was secondhand. It was the middle of the day, summer, hot, and boring. I was playing marbles by myself on the thin carpet beside the huge, old, flower-patterned couch. Mom was down the hall in the kitchen, and Dad was at work. Why I was trying to roll marbles around on a carpet, I don't know. We had a perfectly good lino floor after all. But there I was, swishing the marbles back and forth, happily bouncing them into each other. Then, in my overzealous enthusiasm, I rolled too hard. My favorite marble, the clear ruby red one, zipped into the dark space under the couch and was lost. Damn it! Dad wasn't home, and he was the only one strong enough to move that huge old couch for me. I'd have to get my marble back myself. I reached my hand under the couch, tentatively at first, then deeper, encountering no marbles. I pulled my hand out in disappointment. Then, a hand reached out from under the couch back at me. I remember the image vividly, and I suspect I always will. It was a slim hand, with tapered fingers. A woman's hand. It was gnarled and wrinkled, as if aged, and it was dead black. Black as in dead. Of course, back then, I didn't know that corpses blackened as they decompose, so I didn't know what black meant. The hand reached out to me as far as it could, which was just up to the wrist. Then it retreated under the couch. Then it emerged again, this time pushing with it a little crumpled up plastic bag with a logo on it that I didn't recognize. It waited, as if expecting me to take the bag. Then, when I didn't, it pulled the bag under the couch and was gone. I got up, walked down to the kitchen, and told Mommy what had happened. Why didn't I run screaming? Or at least run? I don't really know. All I can say is, I was a little kid. A hand reaching out from under the couch didn't seem like that huge of a deal. I hadn't yet learned what was and was not permissible in reality. I had no worldview. Mom was skeptical, but walked me back to the couch and explained how I was probably imagining things. She even reached her hand under the couch to convince me that there was nothing down there. Later, Dad lifted the couch for me, and the only thing under it was, of course, my missing marble, plus a few more marbles I don't even remember losing. But here's the scary part. For years, I remembered this. I even developed a weird fantasy of little hand people living under the couch, and I, in my childlike innocence, believed that they would catch me and take me away if I ever reached into their domain again. Then, as I grew older, I wrote the memory off as a dream I had as a young child. Cute, but silly. Then, a few years ago, I recounted the story to my mother. She gave me a funny look and told me that she remembered it, because, after all, she had been there. She told me that she remembered me coming to her in the middle of the day and telling her about the hand under the couch, and remembered being highly disturbed by my story, since I was an extremely quiet, well-behaved kid who didn't ever lie. Then, she told me about the couch itself. According to her, she and Dad had gotten the couch from an estate of an old woman who actually died on it. This was the first time I had heard about this, but it sure explained why they got rid of the couch within a month of my story. But here's the part of the story that truly frightened me, even to this day. The part that I have to try so hard to get out of my mind some nights. Remember that bag the hand pushed towards me? I've never forgotten the logo that was on it. And recently, as in a few years ago, I saw the same logo again on what looked like the same type of bag in a hardware store. It was a bag of utility razor blades.